Man, what a week. Thank you for stopping by. This is a dude with a brew. Thank you for stopping by. This is a dude with your brew. Like I promised, we're going to be talking about socialism. If you haven't followed me on Facebook, you haven't followed me on the different little social media websites, those links are on the actual channel art of this YouTube channel. Please go do so, follow on those places, and find out more information. I release other things on those places. I'm going to try to update my Untapped beer review sections and make it align with what I've done on this channel as well. But as I promised, we're going to be talking about socialism. And simply, socialism is a very easy thing to understand. It's basically where everything, the production, the exchange, and the means of production is controlled by the community as a whole. And basically what is that saying is that it's essentially creating a equal welfare state for all, but it's never equal for anyone. And that's evident in the examples that we see around the world. Currently, the biggest ones that, the Democratic Party doesn't want to actually talk about are the examples from Venezuela, and also the examples from China, the examples from Russia. And then they want to point to those Nordic states where they tried to do a form of democratic socialism, and now what you can see is that they're actually returning back from it. Socialism doesn't work because it always is going to begin by promoting we as a group of people, and then it ends with me as a dictator destroying the people that they said that they were going to actually take care of. So it's all about the money, and me being a capitalist understands that. I don't fault the business for trying to make money and then cutting hours from its employees. Yes, it's wrong, but I don't fault them, because if they're not making a profit, then that business can't hire those employees for the hours that it can pay them. But what the idea is that, what if we come in as a group and as a government, we regulate those people that make so much more than us, and we distribute their wealth back to the people that deserve it. Why do those people deserve it? Those people don't deserve it. I don't deserve the money that I steal from somebody, if I ever do steal from somebody through this process and program, because guess what? I didn't earn it. But if I create something, I create a business, I go through and develop an idea that makes a lot of money, and that then in turn brings wealth into my pocket, then that is mine. It's not anybody else's. We already have income tax. We already have taxes on multiple different things throughout this country. And honestly, I don't find that at all being right. How is it fair that, someone can come and take your money? Well, I can explain the taxes. Those taxes are simple because, you may not want to go to war, and you may not want to actually defend for your freedom and security. So guess what? You're going to have to pay some tax. You're going to have to pay some tax to that big brother that actually has the capability to send their military over and protect this country from enemies, foreign and domestic. Well, so that's one of those things that you have to sit there and weigh out. Do you want the protection or not? Could it be like the Wild Wild West, and then all of a sudden, you have to fend for yourself? I don't know if that would work either, because then we would be all shooting each other. Anyway, other than that, socialism just can't work. I wish it could, but it can't. We already have we already have programs that are socialist in our government today. We have welfare programs. We have programs that provide health care for those people that are less fortunate than those ones above. They're not perfect. And if that's any example of the way that the massive programs that we have are going to run, then we don't want it, because then we won't have anything actually being taken care of to begin with. So, but let's go towards that Medicare for all idea that everybody wants to actually pinpoint and point out there and give us and say that that's a good thing that we can do. Yes, it's a phenomenal thing that we could do if we could afford it. So some conservative estimates are estimating that if we do a Medicare for all over a 10-year period, it would cost $32.6 trillion. $32.6 trillion. So these estimates can be found on Google, and the news website that popped up first, ironically, was Fox News, but other news websites actually use those figures as well. I can put some links in the description if need be, and just comment below if you'd like me to put them in there. I will add them. So if we have over 10 years, 32.6, that's 3.26 trillion dollars a year. Okay, let's go back and if you go back to Google and you search the wealth of the combined total wealth of the top people in the United States, or the top 400 people in the United States, in 2017, they were able to get an estimate of 2.7 trillion of the top 400 people. So if we're at 2.7 trillion of the top 400 people in the United States, and we would tax their wealth 100%, their income every year 100%, we'd still have a deficit, okay? A deficit of $560 million. $500 million, then that $500 million then has to be taxed on the rest of the people throughout the United States. But how is that fair that they would go ahead and tax those wealthiest 400 100%? What would they do? They would actually suffer and probably leave this country and find a country that allow them to continue their business and continue holding on to their wealth. Then we wouldn't have the money anyway. So then we're going to point there and say, hey, what could we do? Combined total wealth and income of the United States is very hard to get. Tried to find it. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description as well. But we'd have to find a tax that would cover $3.26 trillion on a yearly basis to cover Medicare for all. That's just a conservative estimate, though. So what happens if the following year you find out that the actual money that was spent on that Medicare for all after the first year of the program was twice that? Where are we going to get the money the following year? And then we keep on going into holes and holes and holes, and we want to sit there and complain about the deficit that we have already. Why would we put ourselves in it to begin with? The most recent figure I saw, and again it was on Fox News, estimates around $60,000 is the total responsibility of each person in the United States for the national deficit. That's phenomenal, phenomenally bad. If that's the case, then, and we're going to treat it like that's our responsibility, then we are running the company, this country, like a company, and the best person to run a company is a executive. Then we want to sit here and we want to complain about the executive had because he's vulgar and because he did things that an executive would do. He would try to protect his company. He'd be a tribalistic person that would protect his own interests, but we don't want that. Big, bad orange man, not good. But I wonder, has his time in the office got anybody killed yet? We'll probably find out that that's probably the case. But has it happened yet? Have we had anybody given weapons that went over to a cartel and killed one of our own people? Not yet. Have we had anybody at an embassy completely be forgotten by our own government, by this president, and have them killed? No, not yet. This all happened before. We have an entire war over the last 19 years where we were fighting in Iraq, Afghanistan, and all around the world, and we had people lose their lives. What's this for? And we want to sit here and try to sit there and think about doing socialism for all and Medicare for all. We have to figure and focus on our actual national identity first. We want to argue and say that we can't have closed borders and we can't stop immigrants from coming here because that's our image that we have for the United States. Yes, immigrants should come here. That's how my family obviously came here to this country, because years back I came from a family that came here. There's no other explanation for me to be here other than a distant relative in the past immigrated to this country. But if we have tons of people immigrate to this country, then guess what? We're going to have to solve other issues again. Well, maybe we could actually, instead of, accepting everyone, maybe we could go and help their governments economically. Oh, wait a minute, we already do. We already do shell out a ton of money to governments around the world, and we want to sit there and try to fund a socialistic economy. We want to try to sit there and fund things like Medicare for all. I'm for those programs that allow those less fortunate to get their stuff that they need, and right now they're kind of, but all of us can't do it. We have to find a way to actually pay for it first. And everybody will go back and forth, and essentially you'll find people that sit there and say that they have the answer, but they don't. So let us go. If you disagree with me, please comment in the comments below. I will put a time mark for the actual beer review this week in the comments below so that you can just skip ahead if you don't want to hear the actual discussion. I should have said that at the beginning, but I said, whatever. So let's go to the beer review. Today we go to the third beer in the Ommegang tasting, and this one is a phenomenal beer as well. If we can see right here, the Rosetta, okay? As you can see on the actual logo and label right there, Ommegang Brewery, Cooperstown, New York, the Rosetta. It's a sour ale aged on cherries. And then it has with natural flavors. Back here we have 5.6 alcohol by volume. We have serve at 40 degrees, another 40-degree beer. Imported and bottled by Brewery Ommegang of Cooperstown, New York. This is a product of Belgium, so this is not necessarily theirs. Government warning, as always, they have their little logo up top. This bottle has been sweating, so of course the label is getting a little bit crazy, but I want to get it back down to room temperature where it was. When I drank it cold, it was okay. It was sour, and you could taste the sweetness of the cherries. So let's see if the difference in temperature actually makes it a little bit better. We're going to sit here and pop this top off with our little luchador bottle opener. And then go back to our Game of Thrones Ommegang glass. And of course, I fingerprinted it up a little bit. Hey everyone, thank you for stopping back. We went to ommegang.com, Rosetta. You select on that one right there. You can see sour ale aged on cherries. You can hit their beer finder to find it or where the location you can get it. Availability is year-round. Information on the beer. Specs: ABV 5.6, IBU 9, OG 14. Formats you can get it in: draft, 4-pack, and 750. I got this one in an 8-pack. There was 2 types of each beer in this 8-pack. Thank you for stopping by. Let's get back to that beer review video. Just look at that. Just look at that label. Just look at that color. Nice dark amber color. Carbonation's fine. Clear as can be, actually. Let's see if we can put this down here without actually, spilling it. So our overall appeal score as we look at the actual bottle with the cherries on top, very simple. Understanding that it's a product of Belgium. You can actually kind of smell the cherries, but also you can, I don't know if you can smell sour, but you can anticipate that it's going to be sour because it has that almost warhead smell to it. That's a wonder that they have never made a warhead beer. But Ommegang Brewery never disappoints. Before, with the coldness, the colder temperature tasting that I had, sweet and bitter at the same time. Sour, if you want to say that. Overall appeal for the bottle, I'm going to do a 6 out of 10. It's not really eye-catching. The other bottles that bottle that sometimes are a little bit. Aroma's nice. Aroma. We go back to that, and what's surprising is that I sat there and said that it smells kind of like a warhead, so you're kind of expecting sour, and then you smell the cherries, and you kind of expecting, that to balance out. But right there, at a warmer temperature than when I was tasting it before, this is a very pleasant beer. Aroma, because it's complexity, we're going to go with an 8 out of 10. So far, we're at a 14 out of 20. Second taste. I'm not really a fan of sour beers, but second taste just enhances the fact that this one kind of has won me over. The cherries just lay nice in there with the flavor. It's a good tasting beer. So go over there, try this Rosetta, and for the overall flavor, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So we bump our score up to a 22 out of 30, and just for this lazy looking socialistic beer review that I just did, I thank you for stopping by. This is a Dude with the Brew, where we do intelligent conversations to my ability. It's not intelligent compared to people like Ben Shapiro or, Michael Knowles, Andrew Clavin. I've been watching them lately. Great talks that they do on the Daily Wire. But conversation's up to my level. So if you disagree with me, please comment below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Even if you do disagree with me, tell me where you disagree with me on those facts. And if you find that because I didn't put links in the video or make them pop up and go, ooh, look at me, here's the source, I will do so then next time. But this is a phenomenally pleasant beer. Go back in for that flavor. And as always, thank you for stopping by. Do everything in moderation, drink in moderation, and just may you understand that God loves you, and may God bless your family. Have a wonderful day. Like I said, always please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and may God bless you and your family.